And welcome. I'm Empty, and I'm going to be doing DCS's Operation Persian Freedom. So this is going to be Mission 1. We're going to go through this just a little bit. So the summary of this is conduct familiarization flight with the area around Dhafra, assess the abilities to navigate the A-10, and evaluate weapons proficiency in the A-10's armament. It's going to be a pretty, if I remember right, we're just going to fly around. The campaign is a scenario where we're a RAF exchange pilot to the 74th Flying Tigers out of Moody, and they're forward deployed to Dhafra. So, I believe that's pretty much majority of the information here. We have to talk to flight lead for weapons engagement. Yada yada yada. It's airborne. So we got a contact on uniform. Here's our flight plan. Really simple. Just fly around. Bingo is going to be 2,500, or Joker's 2,500. Bingo is 2,000. Sweet. Let's go ahead and get in on this. Yep. So there might be some points where I'm just quiet because it's droning around, and I might fast forward through different parts. Other parts, obviously, it's going to be fast and furious of things going on combat-wise, and I'll try to talk through it. I have played this campaign before, but I feel this campaign is is the best A-10 campaign that isn't educational. Obviously, you have the red flag, iron flag one that teaches you the aircraft. But yeah. And sorry, real quick, I gotta controls are not detected for track IR. Sweet. Cool. So we have to contact.
The date is 21st October 2011, 0730. This is Flight Lieutenant David Hill, assigned to the 74th Fighter Squadron, currently based at Dhafra Airbase in the UAE. Today's sortie is to undertake a familiarisation flight of the Dhafra area and weapons and navigation proficiency tests.
Okay, so we can go ahead and power up the APU, get the radios up and running. This mission, we do have to run the radios. Yeah, we got some loud noises from aircraft flying around, so we're going to go ahead and close the canopy. Before we can get the engines fully started, though, we have to contact ground. We can go ahead and get these set up. And yeah, and I believe presets are already set. We can go ahead and look at the kneeboard real quick and make sure we talk to Dhafra ground. So here's our radio frequencies. So we got Dhafra A-10C on channel 1. We have Overlord on channel 2. Channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. Yep. Like that. And then we got Gunman on channel 1 there. Cool. So, real quick, go ahead and get this stuff started up. Acknowledge, load real quick. Get this. Sorry, I'm also running through my pre-flight real quick. Okay, so now we're going to request a startup.
Tower, Gunman 2-1 requesting startup.
Start getting an engine pumping.
Gunman 2-1, you're cleared to start engines.
Okay, sweet. Cleared to start engines. Go ahead and start an engine. We're going to make this quicker. I'm going to do a fast alignment, so I'm going to go System, INS, Alt, and then Fast. I did not get it quick enough, so we're stuck on the old one, so we're good for that. Yes, so this mission and campaign, it makes you have to talk to A-10C for everything. So we will have to do that. Sweet. Weather-wise, I wonder, do we actually have altimeter set in? No. I don't see anything. Cool. knowledge. We can flip that up. So we got left engine started, right engine started. Go ahead and turn the electrical up. Go. We do have weapons on board, but we should be good. Don't know. Let's see here real quick. So just looking through the kneeboard, we got Gunman 1-1, Gunman 2-1, and it's a fam flight. So I guess I'm 2-1, even though it should be 1-2, but so we're going to depart. We're loaded up with these weapons, not expecting to use it, if I remember right. Contact A-10C. They do have some nice information on what pops up. They provide ROE in here as well. And yeah, we got flight path. Other missions will give more intricate kneeboards as well. I'm going to go ahead and throw in 96 X-rays, so then I have the fields tack and set as well. Still waiting on that. Engines are started, so we can go ahead and power out the APU. Still finishing and waiting this. Can go ahead and get targeting pod started powering up. We can go ahead and just launch this here. We're looking for 4 and 0.8. If we look at our actual checklist here, sorry, go through all this other stuff. I get to my actual checklist here. You can see right here we need 4 and 0.8. Everything else is pretty much set on here. Nozzle steering's on. There's that. We can hit nav. I do anchor because I want the bullseye up here. And then we get that. The EACS switch is set. So now we need to do the before takeoff checklist, which we can do before we taxi. Got that. That's set. IFF. We're going to flip this to standby to get it powered up. Okay. So then now we can go ahead and F10 request taxi.
Tower Gunman 2-1 ready to taxi.
Gunman 2-1, permission to taxi. Right turn onto taxiway Alpha, then left turn onto Echo. Hold short runway 13 left.
Copy Tower, right onto Alpha, left Echo, hold 13 left.
Sweet. So if we go and look at the F10 menu, so it's right onto Alpha. We're going to come down here, taxi over to here, and take off 13 left right there. So now I can go ahead and I'm going to flash the taxi lights. Go ahead and turn on that. Tell the crew chief to remove chocks.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Because when you do a cold start jet, chocks are installed.
Wheel
Tower,
chocks are now
Gunman
removed.
1-1 requesting takeoff.
I am not.
Gunman 1-1, you are clear for takeoff. Runway 13 left.
Huh. That. Oh. Disregard. That's flight lead. He's already down there. Okay, clear left, clear right, turn on the taxiway. I'll do a little bit of high-speed taxi. If you guys really want to see what your taxi speed is, because obviously in the HUD you can't see, you hit function, and then you go to, let me remember, nav. Go here. Okay. Or maybe it's not function nav. Oh, function steer. Function 0. And then you click on the bottom right, and there's your ground speed. Ooh. That is interesting. We got a vehicle. Keep your eyes out on these missions for vehicles driving around. Mission makers tend to like to do that. So we're currently on alpha. I believe if I go and look up through my, let's see here. I don't think I got anything on here. But yeah. So yeah, we're currently on alpha, as you can tell by those taxi. Now we're going to be looking for echo. So that's the thing, you will get a mission fail if you do not follow the taxi instructions and the takeoff instructions per the letter on this. That doesn't seem right. I'm supposed to turn that way to echo? That was weird. Yeah, I went to Fox. That's weird that they're having me taxi to the wrong ramp. Like, you wouldn't turn like that onto a high-speed off-ramp. That's weird. Okay.
Tower, Gunman 2-1 requesting takeoff.
Gunman 2-1, you okay for immediate takeoff? Our Dhafra tower out.
Oh, you're out. Okay, so we're clear for immediate takeoff. Flaps set. Pitot heat's on. Okay, we're gonna do a static takeoff. Brakes set. Run them up to 80. Engine looks good. Everything's set. Power, brakes release. Okay, so now that we're over 70, nose wheel steering's off. I hit the nose wheel steering button. As you can see, the light went out there. And we're going to continue down the runway. We've got some weight on our wheels here, so let's just go 140 for the rotate. 140, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. And flaps coming up. Okay, one thing I forgot to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn flight plan or steering to flight plan mode. So now it wants me to turn. I'm going to do a left turn away from the other runway and head towards
Command 2-1. I'm holding a waypoint 2, Angels 10. Hear me on the
the
radio when
waypoint.
you're within 2 miles and we'll form up and commence the flight. Navy out.
Yes, sir. RV at waypoint 2.
Okay. And so I already have that set, which is going to be channel 1 on the UHF radio. And then, so this waypoint, we're supposed to be 5,000 at waypoint 1. So we'll get down and get up to 5,000. Okay, I'm going to turn on the autopilot by hitting the throttle button. I've got it in path mode, as you can see here on the path. And I'm just going to continue up to 5,000, accelerating out. Once we get within 2 miles of waypoint 1, that's when I'm going to contact flight lead, and we'll continue with the rest of the mission. Okay. So as you can tell, we're going to just fly out here, waypoint 1, waypoint 2. And yep, should be good. So we got 500 till level up.
Gunman 2-1, be advised, low level helos are taking off from altitude at this time. Observe minimum Angels 3.
1-1 copy.
Copy.
Okay, sweet. So we're at 5,000, accelerating out. Try to make this faster and funnier for this first mission. As you can tell, if we're looking at the RWR, just to cover you some of the information that's being shown here. That was interesting. Had a sudden dip in my pressure system. Okay, so we can see that there's 2 AWACS out here. We have 2 E3s, and then we have the Patriot system back there at Dhafra that's pinging us. So the way they do these maps is it's just a map. You can't see what's on here. You have no information from these maps except for you can kind of go, okay, I'm roughly here. So you can't even look at your own waypoints or anything. The only information is bullseye cuts that you can use. Otherwise, you have to use the systems inside the aircraft. So I can see, okay, I'm off the coast here, coming out to my waypoints and whatnot. I can also go, I'm bullseye 221 or 100 or 148. So 221, 148, right there. That's where I'm at. So that is vital. So now I'm within 2 miles, so okay. Let's get up to, oh, or was it at waypoint 2? It might have been waypoint 2, 10,000. That we need to contact. Because I'm not seeing it now. Okay, so let's just say for some odd reason the frequency was not set right. I believe it should be. Yeah, we don't have a radio frequency for our uniform, so I'm not even going to mess with it. It just says channel 1, so hopefully it's set correctly. Cool. Okay, contacting them.
Gunman 1-1, this is 2-1 approaching your position.
This is,
Copy 2-1. I'll talk you through the key navigational landmarks in this area as well as procedures in UAE airspace. We are on a war footing here in the UAE, and air defenses are in a high state of readiness. No doubt you've picked up the Patriots on your RWR.
see. There we go.
Head for waypoint 3. I will form on your wing and hold a close formation throughout the flight.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go waypoint 3. Since he's flying off of my wing, I'm going to go ahead, oh yeah, hold 200 knots. So kick back, boom. While we're in the turn here, go 10,000. Okay, I'm gonna set altitude and heading hold on the autopilot while I'm in this turn. Finish getting up to 10,000 because I wasn't
So
quite
just off
there.
the coast of Abu Dhabi is a set of 3 oil fields. They are important to note as a landmark bearing 270 from Al Dhafra should you ever be struggling in bad visibility.
Okay, there's that. Kicking it back to 200. Let him rejoin with me. Okay, in order to maintain a decent speed, like 200 knots or so, get to 200 and then set roughly around 1500 on the fuel flow, and you should be able to hold it. Maybe a little bit less than that right now. But that's going to be a good power setting to set and hold a speed. Go.
The most prominent landmark in Abu Dhabi is off to our right. The large red building is Ferrari World, an indoor theme park based on, you guessed it, the Yas Marina racetrack is located right next door and hosts Formula 1 Grand Prix every year. But you probably know more about that than me.
Where's that at? Still have it? Honestly not seeing the giant red building. I used to see it a lot more prominently. So right now, flying up this way. As right now we're at 225, 140.
The other notable landmark is the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. It's the largest mosque in the country and can hold over 40,000 worshippers. Interestingly, it also holds the world's largest carpet.
Okay.
Very interesting, sir.
Now I can get back up to 230. So we'll go ahead and press in. Or press it up a little bit. And I can go ahead and just get the pot out here. So right now I'm just doing a little bit of DMS right. Press and hold. And I can, here's Al Dhafra International Airport right there. And you can actually do that from the front, through the HUD as well. So there's the Burj Khalifa off in the distance. We can actually cycle through this. So I cycled from the TV, there's your CCD, to White Hot. Cycle that back.
Okay, 2-1, let's focus on the important stuff. Currently, the Air Force is maintaining 2 permanent caps in Emirati airspace, one in the south protecting Al Dhafra, and one in the north covering our E3 tracks. On top of that, we have alert fighters on standby around the clock and a number of Patriot batteries on high alert. Iran knows we are coming for them, and as a real threat they may attempt a preemptive strike. AWACS is monitoring UAE airspace constantly, so we must monitor their freak at all times and be prepared to answer any challenges as required. It's usually a good idea to check in with them as well once airborne.
Whoops, I should probably be on there.
Let's do that now. Switch your VHF AM radio to 128.5 and contact overload.
Overlord Gunman 2-1, check in 2 ship of A-10s on a fan flight out of Al Dhafra.
on to waypoint 3. The coastline we're currently flying over is over 130 nautical miles away from Iran, so we can't consider it safe airspace. However, as we fly further north, the gap narrows down to as little as 50 nautical miles at the Straits of Hormuz. There are also a series of Iranian-occupied islands that can be as close as 30 nautical miles off the Emirati coast. These islands do possess SAM systems and will pose a threat if you stray too close to them, so unless your flight plan tells you, stay close to this side of the Gulf. The weather in the UAE is usually great, as you would expect, but there are some important factors to consider. There are usually a number of weather systems over the Gulf area, which means that the weather can vary a bit at times. At this time of year, we tend to see low-pressure systems in the Emirates and Gulf, but high-pressure systems in Iran, all of which can combine to make things interesting. Whilst it's usually dry, when we do get rain, we tend to get quite big storms. A bigger issue, though, is dust storms, which tend to blow in ahead of new pressure systems. Ahead of us is Dubai. East of Dubai is the other active coalition base in the UAE, Al-Minhad. The UAV fleet is run out of there along with a lot of Special Operation Force helos. Beyond Dubai lies the Straits of Hormuz, a narrow stretch of water with Iran on one side of it. A third of the world's gas and 25% of its oil flows through that passage, and it's of vital strategic importance. When things go hot, that area is going to be busy. Okay, Gunman 2-1. That ends the first part of the flight. Now I know you're relatively new to the A-10, so I want to test your abilities to navigate the aircraft with your CDU. Pull the aircraft into an orbit and engage the autopilot. I'm going to give you some coordinates. I want you to set a new waypoint. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, here we go.
Ready to receive coordinates.
Okay, the new waypoint position is 40, Quebec, Bravo, Mike, 1, 2, 8, 6, 1, 3, 5, 6, 1, 6. Once the waypoint is set in the CDU, let me know.
That's my current. 4. So now what I'm doing in addition is I'm going to throw it into my flight plan, so then I've got it in the flight plan.
Waypoint set, sir.
Very good, 2-1. Select the new waypoint as your steer point and take us there. The coordinates I gave you for the weapons range the Air Force is currently using. Once we arrive, I want to test your ability to accurately put ordnance on the target. No doubt we're going to be tested in this area soon.
Yes, sir.
So if you notice my technique, there are 2 different techniques there. You don't necessarily need to do the technique I did. I went ahead and wrote it down. It showed back up in the right hand corner. You could also do that, or you can go directly into the CDU and type it in order to start plugging it. go. So, especially for these campaigns, stuff into MGRS is going to be highly vital for you in order to operate. Just in case I've got to start, or once I get about 10 minutes down that way, I'm going to start turning on the mavs and stuff like that, and start fencing in order to do the operation part of this. Okay, and if I do China hat forward, right now my SPI is my steer point. So if I China hat forward
Whilst you're
wrong,
on to the range, you can conduct your weapons checks and targeting pod checks. If you haven't already done so, power up the landing pod. Once pod is online, check for correct operation, making sure its slew freely, zoom and FOV changes are working, and the thriller and CCD modes are all working. I also want you to review your weapon profiles, verifying that all dismiss data is accurate and that the settings within the profiles are set and correct. I also suggest you review the IFFCC gun settings and ensure the ammunition type matches what was actually loaded. You'll see details if you load out on your kneeboard if you can't recall it.
Copy.
let's go ahead and make sure that this is set correct. Weapons, yep, we got that is set. Cool. There we go. And double check laser code. I don't even need to flip to that. Laser code is 1688. Laser codes over here are 1688. So we're set there. I don't have to manipulate any of that. Sweet. Now we're just trucking for a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the Mavs. The Mavs power has a limit to it of all Mavericks have a limit of 3 minutes. In order to get it powered up while it does the alignment and everything. Then what you have is you have 3 hours in order to use the Maverick, or 2 to 3 hours to use the Maverick. So you don't want to leave power onto it for too long, otherwise you burn it up. Okay, obviously it went to master arm, so I'm now going to flip that. Now we're going to come over to here. And I believe if you do... let me double check something, because I haven't really messed with doing the laser code that way. So we're gonna look at this. So Maverick. Let's go to the next page. So for Mav, boat switch. Dark, cold, hot.
Abu Dhabi International sure looks quiet.
Oh, okay. So, that's what you do. So boat switch forward, cycles to the next,
the airspace around the UAE
while
is pretty much
boat
shut
switch
for now.
back,
Too dangerous for
then
civilians trapped
changes
either
the
side of the
number
Gulf.
in sequence. There. Got it.
So I'm assuming Davy is because of Davy Jones, right, sir?
Yeah, that's right. Got that whilst training and never managed to shake it. The name Jones has something to do with it, but there's more to it than that.
Are you going to spill the beans, sir?
Okay, during advanced training in T-38s, I had a really bad day in the cockpit. I won't go into any details, but when I got to the ground, I was pissed. Took out my frustration by punching my locker. Broke 2 bones in my hand and was off the flying roster for a while. That locker became Davy Jones's locker, and I've carried Davy to this day. Steep, that's a bit different. You gonna share as well?
Sure. Whilst I was at university in Lincoln, and that's our Lincoln, not the one in Nebraska, I was in the University Air Squadron. That's a little bit like your A-10C. Anyway, in the centre of Lincoln is a huge cathedral that sits on top of a big hill and dominates the skyline. On nights when we had perhaps indulged a bit too much, I used to like to challenge my squadron mates to a race up the hill. The road to the cathedral was literally called a steep hill. Because my surname is Hill, I used to say I was born to run up hills, and we used to make it a thing whenever we were on a night out. I ended up at RAF College with some of those guys. They never let me forget my love of that hill, and so steep I became.
Sure, steep hill. That works.
What's the big round building? Never seen anything like that before.
I know it's called the Aldar HQ. I think it's just offices, but I don't know much more than that. So steep. How does the A-10 compare to those Harriers you used to fly in Afghanistan?
Sir, I miss the speed of the Harrier, and you've got to love the firepower the Warthog can bring. I understand why the boots on the ground love having this aircraft above them.
Yeah, the Galleon is something you want to hear on your side when you're under fire. I can't imagine what it's like to be on the receiving end of it. You know, the Warthog was always the unwanted child in the Air Force. Too slow, too ugly, and too involved with the Army. But then the Hog with the Desert Storm. In 91, we knocked out over 900 tanks, 1,200 pieces of artillery, and over 2,000 other vehicles. Oh, and 2 helicopters. Finally started to get some love then. But you know, they keep trying to retire us. Don't seem to think the US needs our unique capability anymore. We'll tell that to the poor kids taking fire on the ground.
You think we'll be in the thick of it once the action starts?
Indeed I do. Others may be sexier and faster. But once we have troops in contact, they'll be screaming for us the loudest.
It's not quite Nevada, but it gets the job done. I just need to check in my range control, switch to VHF FM 46.2 and listen in. Let me know when you're all set.
All set, sir.
Range control, this is Gunman 1-1 in flight with Gunman 2-1. Request clearance to enter range. Our British visitor needs some target practice.
Ready, Gunman 1-1, Gunman 2-1. Good to see you, sir. Range is clear and you're authorized to proceed. We will drop green smoke in our location and all attacks must be along with 328 or 148 radial. How copy?
Ether on control. Attack using the 328 148 radial. Okay, listen up, Gunman 2-1. I'm gonna direct you to attack 3 sets of targets. I will be looking at your ability to effectively and accurately engage the targets, but more importantly, your precision in following the IP onto target and minimizing risk to our ground forces. I'm gonna break off now and enter a circuit at Angels 10 where I will be watching your performance. I want you to head south for the waypoint for 5 miles and hold it in orbit at Angels 5. When you're in position, let me know.
Gunman 2-1 in position.
Okay, Gunman 2-1, I want you to attack the southernmost group of IFVs on an attack axis of 328. Should be easy to locate, just follow the dirt track on the other closest group to your position. For this attack, use the gun. You'll need to watch your background on this, so use a high angle strafe. You are cleared hot. Let me know when you finish your attack. I'm just looking to see you can hit the correct target.
attack vector looks good. Shoot it around 1 mile slant range.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
Attack completed.
Well done, pilot. You got a kill. It was good to see you followed the correct attack direction. This removes the threat of dropping short or long on friendly forces. Return to Angels 5 and hold an orbit 5 miles north of the range. Let me know when you're in position.
Gunman 2-1 in position.
Your next task is conduct a precision strike on a target building using a GBU-12, avoiding the adjacent buildings in the process. Target is 4,000 feet north of your previous target. It's a one-story garage with a car parked outside. Locate the target with your landing pod and let me know when you have a positive ID.
Target acquired.
I want you to attack along an axis of 148. Use 1 times GBU-12. You are cleared hard. Let me know once your attack is complete.
completed.
Good attack, Gunman 2-1. Good attack. Gunman 2-1, I have one more test for you. Let's evaluate how effective you are at coordinating attacks with others. We're going to attack a pair of targets. I'll drop first with a GBU-12 on one target. I want you to follow me and hit the second target within 30 seconds of my bomb. The targets are a pair of birdums. You'll find them within the square container boxes on the range. I'll take the south target. You take the north. Let me know when you have tally.
Tally target.
Okay, Gunman 2-1. I'm gonna start my attack. When I start my attack run, I want you to slot in behind me. Get ready to release it when I do. I want to see that target burning within 30 seconds of my hit. I'm gonna attack along the 148 radial.
Copy, lead.
Inbound on target.
Pull up. Pull up.
One away. Well done, Gunman 2-1. Target destroyed. Looks like you know what you're doing. Okay, Gunman 2-1, that's almost it for today. You should still have some ordnance left on the aircraft. You are clear to drop it on the remaining range targets. Watch your attack direction. There's still friendlies on the ground, so continue to use the 148/328 radio. When you're ready to RDB, hit me on the radio.
One. Actually, I don't really care to shoot the rest of it, so we're just gonna F10.
Gunman 1-1, Gunman 2-1 ready to RTB.
Okay, pilot, let's head home. Why don't you use TAC out for our return? The channel for Dhafra is in your kneeboard. I'm gonna reform on your wing and we'll head back in formation.
Now we'll go back to 6,000. And that's why I went ahead and set up Dhafra already in there. Oh, and we got another conversation. Cool.
How long have you been in the Air Force, sir?
I've been in 13 years now, and apart from training, it's all been in the hog.
You see any action in Iraq or Afghanistan?
Yes, Steve. I did 2 tours in Afghanistan as part of ensuring freedom. Got a lot of cricket time over there as well.
Now,
You were over there with the RAF. You know how it was.
so I can hit expand on this, and then we can go and zoom out.
I never felt in danger. We had such a permissive
can see how
environment,
Dhafra is
but the
right
pressure of not
here.
screwing up with the boys on the ground needed us was tough.
At least you weren't on the ground.
Roger that, sir. I'd rather be up here.
There we go. Oh,
You support a lot of troops in
that's
contact.
why.
Hell, Steve, yeah. Well, the danger close as well. You know, as impersonal as a prosecution of a target can be in an airplane. It sure feels more personal when you got a fag scared out of his wits trying to talk you on target to save the lives of him and his buddies. That's why we train so hard for the CAS mission and work on avoiding blue-on-blues. I've seen what it does to both the ground forces and the pilot. It ain't good any way you look at it.
How do you think the war will go?
I think we'll dominate the air. Iran has teeth, sure, but we have too much strength for them in the air. It's the ground that concerns me. We don't have a great track record of toppling regimes and stabilizing and transitioning countries in this part of the world, do we?
I agree. GC like we smashed the Iraqis in 91 and 03. But what after? That's always the hard bit. But whenever happens, at least there will be cash on hand.
Okay, so he's 1 mile in trail right now, coming up. I am in TACAN mode still, but I did use the press position in order to get into position better. We're just gonna keep trucking this way.
Gunman 2 Army are approaching El Dhafra. Contact them and obtain landing clearance.
Okay. So there we go. That channel 1 is. Huh, the F-10's not there. Oh, once we're 10 miles. Okay. Okay. Alright, press this in real quick. Let's go ahead and put this on standby. You don't want to damage our lantern pod. And mine let a crew feed it. And now we're within 10 miles. Boom, boom. West landing.
Tower Gunman 2-1 requesting permission to land.
Gunman 2-1, you are cleared for landing. Runway 31 right.
3-1 right. So that's going to be down that way, 3-1 right. So let's go ahead. We're going to set up for a beam. Beam approach. So let's get down to 1,500 feet AGL. If I remember right, the field here.
Okay, pilot, good work today. I'll follow you in and watch you down. I'm back on the ground, taxi back to the 7th Horse parking area. I'll see you later for the
It's
debrief.
50
Gunman 1-1 out.
feet, so we need 1,600 feet AGL for that. Put this back on standby. 1,500 feet AGL. Or 1,600 feet AGL. Coming over the field. Beam approach. Okay, there's 14. We shot a little bit below, so let's keep on pressing forward for this. Now, okay, 1,600 feet. We're just gonna max throttle it. We're gonna wait 2 seconds after we cross over the field. So we're gonna go 1 potato, 2 potato, and then do right-hand turn to runway 31 right. So 1 potato, 2 potato, boom, speed brake, pull, and I know. Okay, and roll out, flaps. So now we need to get flaps and gear, flaps out. Speed brake's still out, we're still gonna slow. Now we're gonna go base. So this is, instead of doing an overhead brake, so having to set up for 3-1 right with the overhead brake, you can do a beam approach, which is what I set up here. And it works out pretty well. I had a little bit longer spacing because I went a little bit longer on the potatoes on that, but we're gonna slow down. I'm a little fast here, a little hot. Yeah, see, I'm a little wide. I'm kind of slowly angling myself back in. You can slow down to speed on final here. We need to come down a bit. Capture that. Right now we're on speed and aiming at the 500 foot. That's good. And start the... Nope. Don't let it flare. There we go. Full brakes. Okay, now we can get nose wheel on. So now I have nose wheel steering. And we don't have anything for ground right now. Pull off the runway here. Parked. Sweet. Mission complete. And not going to do too much of a debrief with this one. For later videos, I will do a TAC view and debrief in order to go over the footage for it. For the specific mission, but since we didn't go up against any threats and it was only practice targets, I'm not going to look at it. Have a good one. See you guys on the next mission.